Well, hello, and welcome to Conversations with Dr. Els. I know we have been off for a just 1 week. We've done some recordings. But we are glad that you are on Conversations with Dr. Els. And so I want to encourage you to share this live broadcast. Let everybody know, share this conversation. Let everybody know that Conversations with Dr. Els is on, and we are looking forward for a great conversation this uh, afternoon. We are looking forward for a great conversation today. So let your friends, let your family know that Conversations with Dr. Els has started, and we are looking forward for a great time. Well, it is a beautiful day here in Barbados, and I want you to know that God is good. God is indeed good. His mercy is everlasting, and His truth endures for all generations. So, hi to all. We are live and alive in Conversations with Dr. Els, and we are happy that you can join us today. We are happy that you can share this live. We are happy that you are excited, and we are looking forward. We are actually looking forward for this time going ahead. So I want to let you know that you can join me on Conversations with Dr. Els, and we are looking forward for an awesome time. We want to thank God for His mercy. We want to thank God for His grace. We want to thank God for keeping us alive and well. I don't know about you, but I am excited. I am excited. I'm excited about what God is doing. And so I hope you are excited too. And I hope you're looking forward for a great time in the presence of the Lord. Hi, my daughter. Great having you locked on to Conversations with Dr. Els, and we are looking forward for a good time. So, hey, what we want you to do is share this live broadcast, and let your friends know that Conversations with Dr. Els is on. All right, just to let you know a few things, we want to let you know that you can check me out. You can check out my webpage if you want to see more what is happening. You can check my webpage out, and we're looking forward to see you there. Share a like, let everybody know what is happening on Conversations with Dr. Els. Remember, we are live on Caribbean Gospel Jam. We are live on Caribbean Gospel Jam, and we want you to just join Caribbean Gospel Jam. We are live on KLN TV. We are live on our Facebook page. So, guys, check that out and see what is happening with Conversations with Dr. Els. Let me say good day to my brother Evan Faria. Great having you locked on. Good to see you. Good to hear. Well, yes, I know you're hearing my voice, but good to see you. And I should be seeing you soon. So we're looking forward for that time. So it's going to be an awesome time. So, guys, remember you can check out drels.org .org, and let me know what's happening there. There's some great things that's happening. You can also check me out on KLN TV, and there you would see great things happening. All right. Today get into a few things, and I want to start a series on singleness in our conversation. I want to look at a couple issues in singleness, so you can look out for that. And I want to remind you also that this year we are looking to head to we're looking to head to, yes, on singleness, we're looking to head to Israel. Some folks want to go to Israel next year, God's willing. We're looking to head to Egypt, to Greece, and to Turkey, God's willing. So you can check us out later in another broadcast. We're going to show you some stuff, but we want to be able to look to go to those places in our faith-based stores. So I'm looking forward for you guys to be here on Conversations with Dr. Els and to know more of what we are doing and what God is doing. So shout out my friends in St. Lucia, my friends in Trinidad and Tobago, Grenada. Shout out to my friends in Africa, in Barbados, of course, St. Vincent, my homeland, in England, in New Jersey, and other parts, other states in USA. Right, so we are talking here on singleness. Oh wow, my brother, you're going to Greece in October. I hope you would still join on our tour. You know, it's great to have you rallying with me through these tours. All right. So we're looking forward for you to rally with me again next year, God's willing. All right. So here's my question to you. Here's my question. Uh, are you a beautiful person? Think about that. Think about that for a while. Are you a beautiful person? And you can answer me. I know you know this is a conversation between us, and so you can answer and you can share there on this live broadcast. Are you a beautiful person? And somebody say, yes, I am. But no matter how you answer, I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you. Hey, great having you locked on to Conversations with Dr. Els. Amber, great having you locked on. I want to challenge you. No matter how you answer just now, and some of you saying, yes, you are. But I want to challenge you to think again. Think again. Think of the question again. Oh, let me pose the question another way. Let me pose the question another way. Somebody saying, I would love to believe that I am. So you see the difference in the answer. Great having you locked on to Conversations with Dr. Els Ryan. Great St. Lucia's in the house. But let me ask the question a different way. Do you feel beautiful? Okay, so you answered to the question, are you a beautiful person? And you say, yes, you are. But let me ask the question a different way. And the question is, do you feel beautiful? Do you feel beautiful? Now, that you've got to understand, that is what we usually say, that's a horse of a different color. All right. Uh, Oftentimes, people would quickly say, yes, I am beautiful, or there are some people who believe that they are not, so they may say no. But the real question here is, do you feel beautiful? Do you feel beautiful? All right. And okay, I'm getting the answer. Yes, I do feel beautiful in and out. I am getting the yes answer again. And that's awesome. That's great. Because oftentimes, and we as I said, I'm beginning this series and I'm laying the foundation for the rest of the series on singleness. Oftentimes, we have persons, and we have especially single persons who've been looking for a mate, looking for boyfriend, looking for girlfriend, looking for someone to settle down with, and they often ask themselves, what happened to me? Am I not beautiful? Why am I not finding the right person? My biological clock is ticking, and why am I not seeing? Why am I not finding the right person? Okay. And often we think beauty is all about the visual aspect of someone or something. And so, because of that, many people think of beauty just in that one way. We think that beauty is about the visual aspect of someone or something. And so, you look at beauty on the outside. All right. Let's look at a couple of examples on how we use the word beauty. And I want you to give me a couple examples that you think. How do you use the word beauty? We may say, that's a beautiful girl. Huh? That's a beautiful girl. So we use the word beauty in relation to a person. We see someone walking down the road and we will say, that's a beautiful girl. Or in the case of a man, we may say, that's a handsome dude. All right. And we think of beauty on just what we see. Another way people will use the word beauty would be, for example, someone is singing and they sound really lovely, and you will say, oh, wow, that's a beautiful song. So we use it as a person, we use it to describe the song. That's a beautiful song. Or the person who is singing or acting or whatever, we may say, that's a beautiful performance. You know what I'm talking about? What are the ways do we use the word beauty? Or like today in Barbados, we may say that is we have beautiful weather. All right, we have a beautiful weather. And so because it's nice and it's shining outside, and what is it like in New Jersey? What is the weather like? Sometimes when it is snowing or it's dark and it's gloomy, it's raining, and you want to get outside, and you persons may say, hey, it's not a beautiful weather, but if it is nice and shining, it's probably a good time to go to the beach. Someone might say, well, we have beautiful weather. Or someone is sharing, and you may say, that's a beautiful speech. Okay, so we see what we're dealing with. We see in different ways, where we use the term beauty. There, the weather in New Jersey is cold, but here it is that it is a beautiful day. We talk about we're driving. I remember taking my children on a drive, on a road trip from New York to Atlanta a couple of years back, and we have been driving, and it was beautiful on the outside. The sun was shining nicely. We left New York early in the morning, and we looked at the scenery on our way down. And as we got to Virginia, we started seeing some lightning, and it got dark, and the rain began to pour so much that we had to pull off on the side of the road. And so my daughter was saying, the oldest one, that the weather has just changed. We just had beautiful weather driving down, and now it's dark and it's gloomy, and we hardly can see, and we had to wait until that passed for a bit. So we talk about that, but the scenery was beautiful. All right. Or we may talk about a beautiful house. We may talk about beautiful smell or a beautiful smile. We will say to somebody, you have a beautiful smile. And we can go on. There are other things that we use when we talk about beauty. All right. So we say so much different things about beauty. And we use this term in different ways. So now, think about that. We talk about a beautiful girl, a beautiful song, a beautiful performance, a beautiful weather, beautiful speech, beautiful scenery, beautiful house, beautiful smell, or even beautiful character, beautiful smile. So now think again. Are you beautiful? Do you feel beautiful? Or what really is beauty? Can you can type your answer and let me know what really is beauty? Because we use beauty for so many different things, right? So what really is beauty? We attach beauty to both tangible and intangible things, right? So we attach them to both tangibles and intangibles. And beauty is not confined, let me say this, beauty is not confined to our eyes, but all our five senses sense beauty. So when we talk about beauty, it is not confined to what we see. Okay, but all of our senses would sense beauty. That's why we would say we have a beautiful smile or a beautiful taste, or what you've heard is was so beautiful and such like that. So beauty is not limited to only what you see. So what is beauty? Are you beautiful? All right. Oftentimes, all right, let's say. I think beauty. This comment. I think beauty is a relative term that expresses what appears delightful and acceptable to us. So, in that, are you saying that someone could be beautiful to someone else and not beautiful to another person? Are you saying that really we cannot truly determine a benchmark for beauty across the board? We can't determine if something is beautiful or not because it is relative. Hey, that's the question. All right, based on your comment, that's the question. What really is beauty? You see, often our concept of beauty is overridden by the social norms of the society that we grew up in. So, uh, if we grew up in a society that looks at beauty one way, we would tend to look at beauty that same way, and anything outside of that would not be beautiful. All right. For example, fat girls are considered beautiful in some cultures, like Africa, in some African culture, in Fiji. So if you are what we would call in the West, if you are fat, or what they may call, they may not call it fat, but they're plump or thick or something like that. That's beauty. And for some, a lot of places in the West, you go for a slim person, and you are attracted to a slim person, and you think that a slim person is beautiful. But in some culture, someone who is what we would term fat is beautiful. All right. But with globalization, we are coming closer towards a global view on beauty, just like anything else. And so what was beautiful back then, or to some place, because we are in a global setting, we seem to be getting to a global expression of beauty. And here's what somebody said: beauty is a combination of qualities such as shape, color, or form that pleases your eyes. So it is something that pleases the eyes. Let me pause and just say hi to Pat's. Great having you locked on to Conversations with Dr. Els. Let me say hi to Shelly Ann. Great having you locked on to Conversations with Dr. Els. It's great having you guys here locked on to Conversations with Dr. Els. All right, so we are talking about beauty, and we are saying that beauty is more than just what you see on the outside. All right, and the global view is often shaped by corporate advertisement that is part of our day-to-day life. So what we're seeing happening is that in different cultures where you have different concept of beauty, that is changing. That is changing now because of globalization, because of many corporate advertisements that we see across the world. That seem to be changing. And so we have the saying that beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. But again, it's not in the eyes. So is that really true? Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. All right? Beauty is not so much in the eyes anymore, but it's deep within, and it radiates outwards. So the question is, for those who might be looking for a mate, might be looking for a spouse, what do you look for in terms of beauty? What do you look for in terms of beauty? All right. And let me just read this comment. We are all factors of our environment, but you're raising a question of true beauty and individual beauty, and that's what you're considering. Thanks for that. That comment. Remember, guys, let me just pause and say, remember, this is a conversation, and you can join in on this conversation. All right. You can join in on this conversation, and we are happy to have all of you locked on to Conversations with Dr. Els. Hi, Celine. How are you doing? Great having you locked on to Conversations with Dr. Els. And for all of you, remember, you can check us out on Facebook Live. You can check us out on Caribbean Gospel Jam. You can check us out on KLN TV. You can also check my YouTube channel, Dr. Els, and you will see all that is going on here on Conversations with Dr. Els. So we are talking about beauty. We are talking about that beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Is that true? But we're saying that beauty is not just in the eyes, beauty radiates from inside. And so beauty is more than what is in the eyes. I've heard people remark on it is how refreshing it is to meet someone real, genuine, real. Let's put it this way: someone who is real. Let me pause and say hi to Irene. Great having you locked on, my friend, to Conversations with Dr. Els. How is that book going? Hey, I need update. All right. So we talk about, we talk about how refreshing it is to meet someone real, someone who's genuine. We don't like fake people, someone who is authentic and confident and happy with whom they are. Someone who know who they are and is happy with who they are. And so we talk about meeting persons like that, and these people radiate charm and grace and an inner beauty. Okay, inner beauty that emanates from the very core of their being. So we're talking about when we have someone who is real with themselves, who is not a fake. Remember, we're talking about beauty. How beautiful are you? And we're saying that beauty is not just in the eyes of the beholder, but beauty comes from inside and radiates. And so you may think that you're not beautiful. You may think that, hey, people are not looking at me as beautiful. But what is really true beauty? All right. When you have someone who is real and genuine, this person radiates from within. That beauty radiates from the very core of their being, and more than simply see it, we can feel it. So here's what we're saying: beauty is not only something that you see, but something that you feel. Beauty comes from the inside. Okay, the human beauty. Let's hear your conversation. This comment. The human beauty is not only the outer beauty of the physical appearance, but also the inner beauty of the character of a person. Inner beauty is often explained in terms of moral or virtuous character traits. And so let's go back when we hear all these great comments and sentiments. Let's go back to the question that I started with: are you beautiful, or do you feel beautiful? Right? You see, the fashion and cosmetic industries cash in on fears like this. When people feel they're not beautiful, when people feel that, or when people are told that they're not beautiful, or you feel that you're not beautiful because of something that someone would have said, something that your family may have said to you, something that your friend may have said, something that people would have said to you, and you don't feel as though you are beautiful, you know what happens? The cosmetic industry take that and say, hey, let me give you something, that is make you beautiful. All right, let me share something with you that make you feel beautiful, and they then cause for you to spend money to look beautiful on the outside, when beauty is more than just the outside. So what we have happened: the fashion and cosmetic industries cashing on the fears of not feeling beautiful, or given the power of advertising, it's no wonder so many people spend their lives focused on appearances and focusing on superficial fix up while neglecting what makes them truly beautiful. I usually say in a joking way, ladies, you really don't need foundation. You don't need all of that. The only foundation that you need is Jesus Christ. Because God has already created you beautiful, and you are wonderfully made. All right? You are wonderfully made. So let's take this question. All right. Remember, this is a conversation. You can post your question, you can post your comments, and we will see it and we will talk. We will discuss that. That's what this is about. Okay. So this person is not trying to be provocative, but how do the question is, and friends, I want you to share your thoughts. How do we then respond to Genesis 29:17 with the comparison of Leah and Rachel? Okay. How do we respond to that comparison? Now, I was talking to my wife the other day, and I was saying, you know what? There are some people are not ugly, really. People are not ugly. There are some people who are just what the term I use. I'm trying to remember the term that I use. um people are, when it comes to look, I have to go back. I have to ask my wife. I use the term and now I forget it. But when it comes to beauty, some people are all right. I now remember it. Some people are just differently beautiful. All right. So when you come to what the Bible say about Leah and Rachel, it's just that one was differently beautiful, and in comparison, again, there's a comparison there. In comparison, Rachel was more beautiful, as it was than Leah. It does not mean that Leah was not beautiful. She was just probably differently beautiful, because again, beauty is not just on the outside. Leah, the Bible often talk about Leah, not Leah, sorry. The Bible often talk about persons who are fair to look upon, right? So we are not leaving out the aspect of the outer beauty, but beauty is more than just the outward. So let's be real here. You look at some people and you wonder, and please don't take this as an offense, but you look at some people and you wonder if evolution is really true, if people come from monkey or so. But one of the things that we recognize is that sin, when man sinned, sin created a look. Sin marred us, right? And so sometimes the sin causes some people to look different, right? Let me just pause and say hi to Deanza. Great having you locked on to Conversations with Dr. Els. All right, so we are laying the foundation for our series on singleness, and we're talking about beauty, because oftentimes single persons would think that they're not beautiful because maybe they're not get or handsome, they're not getting the person that they're looking for, or they ask themselves, well, why am I not in a relationship? And they tend to think of that as because maybe they are not beautiful, right? But we're saying that the superficial fix up will not work if you are neglecting what makes you, sorry, truly beautiful. So we're not saying do not put on the makeup and the eyeliner and the new what the eye the lashes, right? Some people, overdo, but we're not saying don't put these things on, right? But we're saying that that alone really doesn't make you beautiful. I know some of you guys, or most of you guys, I know on this live personally, and you guys are beautiful, and it's not, I think I've seen a lot of you in different avenues. And so when you I've camped with some of you, so I see you when you get up early in the morning for breakfast without the makeup. I hang out with some of you, and you are beautiful without all of that. And that is what is important, because beauty is not just what is on the outside. Okay, and one of the things I've come to realize is that inner beauty improves with age, and it makes you grow more attractive with each passing year. And why is that so? It's not just something that happens just because another calendar year has passed, but it is something that happens because as you grow older and you mature, because it comes with maturity. When you understand yourself, when you understand life, you radiate an even greater beauty. Okay, so as you grow older, as you get more mature, your inner beauty improves, and you become more beautiful. And maybe you know someone like this, and you might ask, well, how do they do it? What is their fountain of youth? Right? We talk about that. What is their fountain of youth? And in some people seems just not to, they get older in age, but it doesn't seem to get older because of the inner beauty that that radiates from them. All right, and so in many cases, the answer amounts to three little letters: EGO. For a good reason, people who grow with inner beauty have created a well adjusted ego. Right? And so those persons, they are able, because they're able to deal with life situation, because they have an adjusted ego, a well adjusted ego. They don't fall for all whims and fancy and such like that. And this is why many physically stunning people, what we might call the knockouts in the room, aren't always so attractive when you get to know them better. I always remember one year, I was flying from Trinidad to Barbados. And I was flying on this particular airline. I'm not giving any advertisement to that airline, but I was flying on this airline, and I was taking the last flight in the night from Trinidad to Barbados, because I enjoy doing that, because I want to spend all of my time. I want to spend all of my time enjoying the beautiful island and such like that, right? So I decided I would take the last flight, and there were a few girls, beautiful girls on that flight, and they were there, and you have a little look, and you said, this is God's creation, beautiful young ladies and such like that. But then they started talking, they started in a conversation, and I've come to recognize that these young ladies were university students. And I'm not saying what university they went to, all right, or at the time they were still in university. So I will not say what university that they were in at that time. But then my whole perspective changed. My whole perspective changed after hearing their conversations. All right, what came out of these young ladies' mouth on that flight, and what they were talking about, I could not believe that such what we may say beautiful, because we on the outside we look at them, and what they were, the discussion they had was very appalling, and I couldn't believe one, that they were even university students, because their conversation. So we're saying that beauty is more than what is seen on the outside. And let me just pause and say hi to a beautiful woman of God, Zoe. Great having you locked on to Conversations with Dr. Els. All right. So that's what we're showing to say, that beauty is not just what we see on the outside. And if if we just look at what's on the outside, to say that you are beautiful, we have to be careful. All right, you know them by their conversations. Someone said, yeah, because beauty, what comes from inside. And so sometimes they're stunningly, physically stunningly, people aren't always so attractive when you get to know them better. And I'm not saying that stunningly, physically stunningly, people are not beautiful on the inside either. But I'm saying that on the outside, that is not the only thing that makes someone beautiful. All right. And why is that so? For 9 out of 10, it's ego. One way or another, fragile, frankly insufferable. That's the issue. Some people don't have a well-adjusted ego. All right. And so, on the other hand, the people with healthy egos are easy to spot. Not talking about people who feel that they're better than everybody else, and so we're talking about a well-balanced ego. They're people who are confident, and people who are fun-loving, people who are genuinely comfortable with who they are, and things like insecurity and self-doubt are virtually non-existent in their life. Right? And I'm not saying that there aren't times when people, feel a little down under the weather, or that they're not getting what they need, they're not achieving what they need at a particular time. But generally, persons with well-adjusted ego, they are beautiful because they are comfortable with who they are. They are confident with who they are. They are fun loving. They don't allow insecurities and self doubt to be a major part of their life. And they can joke. They actually, the people who can take a joke. How many of you can take a joke? We saw right now on social media, and on the news feed, there's a big thing about what happened with the Oscar. And I've read several comments, whether the person should have said what he said, or whether the person should have done what he did, and all of that. And we know one person is a comedian, well, both of them from time to time. But how far do we go? The issue here, can you take a joke? Can you laugh at yourself? Right? And oftentimes, these persons who have a well-adjusted ego can take a joke and they can dish it out with ease and grace, and they let go of criticism. Persons with well-adjusted ego forgive more readily and quickly dissolve resentment and the negative emotions that thwart happiness and self-esteem. These are people who are confident with themselves. These are people who know who they are, right? And so beauty is not dependent on what is outside. You can sense beautiful people when they walk into a room. They look and they feel younger than the age, and almost everyone likes them because we're talking about a well adjusted ego. And this is true beauty. So, to be truly beautiful, we have to learn to recognize, we have to learn to manage, we have to learn to play with our ego and put it in a proper place. Put your ego in a proper place. It is an indispensable asset, um, and you have to be your authentic self. So, as a single person, and we said we are starting this series on singleness with talking about beauty. The question is that I started with: how beautiful are you, or do you feel beautiful? You know, you may have gone through some situations where you don't think that you're beautiful anymore, but situations really don't make you beautiful or not beautiful. It is how you deal with the situation, it's how you respond to the situation. You know, you might be thinking, well, all of my friends, look, they have boyfriends or girlfriends, they're getting married, or what is happening to me? Am I not beautiful enough? Well, it may not be beauty, because beauty is not just on the outside. It may be a lot of different things. And so, what I want to leave you with as we wrap this up is when you are confident, right? And someone just said it: single person is separated and whole. Okay, when you are confident, you know who you are. You don't have to worry. You are beautiful from the inside out. And hey, we're gonna talk. We have some exciting parts of this singleness. We want to talk about sex and singleness. We want to talk about singleness from different perspective, from a perspective of persons who we have separated or divorced, persons who've never been single, never been married, or persons who have lost love, their spouse. And so we want to look at singleness and the issues that persons face with regards to singleness from these perspectives. So hey, I want you to share this conversation. Even after we leave here, share this conversation. Let people know and let them know next week, God's willing, we are going to continue on this series. So we look forward to seeing you at 12 Eastern Standard Time, Atlantic Standard Time. We're looking forward to see you guys on Conversations with Dr. Els, and we're looking forward to have a great time. So again, okay, so to answer how beautiful I am, how beautiful am I, sorry, is not a question of asking what I need to gain necessarily, but how much positive ego I possess or need. This is a profound statement, and thank you for sharing that. All right. How beautiful am I? To answer that, it's not a question of acting what I need to gain. It's not a question of necessarily putting on makeup and all of that, but how much positive ego I possess or need. So, hey, do you have a well balanced ego? How beautiful are you? Looking forward for conversations with Dr. Els next week. Looking forward to see you guys to share this live. Remember, we are on Caribbean Gospel Jam. We are on KLN TV. You can check Dr. Els. You can check out Dr. Els .org. All right, check out my webpage and see what's there, and it will tell you what we are doing. So it's great having you guys locked on to conversations with Dr. Els, and looking forward to see you next week, God's willing. God bless you, and remember, whatever you do today, add value to someone's life. Blessings on you.